TFL EV is brought to you by Flow Charger, maker of reliable, high-quality charging stations for your electric vehicle. Hey guys, Roman here, and this is part 2 of a video that we published not that long ago. And in that video, I kind of did a complete walk around of this car. Let me shut it off for a second and show it to you. I'll just give you the basic facts very quickly. It's the brand new Hyundai Ioniq 6, and this is a sedan. Check it out. It competes with the Tesla Model 3 and the Polestar 2. Starts about $43,000, and this one, with many of the bells and whistles, is $55,000. It's kind of modern steampunk cool. That's what the designer kind of called it anyway. It's based on a Stout, I think it's Stout Scout. That was the inspiration for this. Google it. You can look at that thing. It's kind of a funky early aero car, even though a lot of people say that there's a lot of Porsche in this, and of course a lot of Tesla with these door handles that disappear. Now back here it's got dual spoilers, and look at all these pixels, over 700 pixels, and this is part of Hyundai's new design language. Now, I don't want to go over all the details in my previous video, so just go to alltfl.com or Google the first hands-on with this car, and you'll see kind of all the details. In this video, I want to see how it drives. Now, the cool thing about this car is it's based on the Ionic 5 architecture, but they've improved the efficiency, so you can actually get a long-range version that gets 361 miles of range. I believe this all-wheel drive is about 316 miles of range on a 77.4 kilowatt-hour battery, but 361, that is getting seriously quick. But what they've done, and quick, I mean 0 to 60 according to Hyundai, 5.1 seconds. Anyway, what they've done is they shortened the wheelbase but lengthened the car. So wheelbase 2 inches shorter than the Ioniq 5, but car is 8 inches longer, giving you tons of back seat room. I can't express how much room there is in this car. So that's kind of, I think, one of the unique selling propositions. But let's take it for a ride, because I don't want to redo what I did before and talk about how it drives. Now, here's the Monroney for this car, $57,425. This car is in the ultimate red, and it is the Ioniq 6 limited long range all-wheel drive with the 20-inch wheels, and those 20-inch wheels is what gives you less range. Bigger the wheel, less range. Here you've got this kind of funky half pipe, which changes color based on the drive mode. So let's go into sports, so we get that 5-second 0 to 60. Yes, I know I said 5.1, but what's a 0.1 of a second between friends? Put the wipers on, because I am here in Arizona, and of course it's raining. Who would have thunk in Arizona that it's raining? Let's take it for a quick spin around Camelback, which is where I'm at, or very near Camelback. If you guys live here, what a beautiful part of the country. I'm so jealous. Or is it jelly? I think that's what the kids say, jelly. Anyway, I'm so jelly. Now, hopefully I can get out of here, because this is a parking lot reserved for Hyundai cars. Oh yeah, look at that. I can get through here. Wahoo! And we shall see how it drives. Seating position is comfortable. I've got tons of headroom, great leg room. You'll notice that there's some real buttons here, but also some haptic buttons, and of course 2 12.3-inch screens. These 4 dots, well, they do various things like change color when you try to get the car to listen to you, but they also are H in Morse code. So if you're a Morse code fan, or a coder, Morse coder, are there such things still? Then you'll know that 4 dots are an H. All right, so let's give it the beans, huh? Whoa! A lot of power initially, and then it kind of slows down. Now, a Tesla Model 3 Performance would also cost, without full self-driving and all the whistles, $55,000, and that car goes 0 to 60 in 3.1 seconds. So this car is a little bit slower than the Tesla, but much bigger. So I guess it depends. Do you value space or do you value performance? Now, in terms of driving, this is a very smooth road. You guys here in Arizona, no frost, nice roads. But the immediate sensation I get from this is that it's very quiet. And I like that. I mean, electric cars, gosh, I don't know why Rolls-Royce doesn't have an electric car, or Bentley. This is what electric cars are really about. And there's also kind of a sense of quality. Everything is very well built. All the buttons feels expensive. All the materials feel rich. It just feels like these guys know how to build a very good car. The one thing I'm not like over the moon is this steering is very heavy. I mean, I am pushing and pulling hard on the steering wheel just to get it to move a little bit. I would say that Hyundai has kind of gone from having overly assisted steering to under assisted steering. So I think on the highway it'd be great, but I did take this into the twisties and I kind of felt the car was a little sterile when it came to driving because of the steering not providing much feedback. So if it is quick, it does have 1 foot driving, so it will, regen, and you can actually change that with the paddle shifters right there. You can see I'm increasing the regen all the way up to max, and then of course, whoa, there we go, just flooring it there, and it immediately exceeds the speed limit, so I don't want to do that. But like I said, to me, many electric cars suffer from the same issue, and that is they all drive like electric cars. There are a few that don't. The Hummer EV, that's just crazy. When you floor it, the whole thing pounces up like a stabbed tiger in the butt, and the Porsche Taycan has gotten as close to performance handling as possible. But at the end of the day, many electric cars feel, including that one, the Tesla Model S there, feel like they're really good in a straight line, but when you start to get into the twisties and you want to feel the vehicle kind of connected directly to your brain, you kind of lose that. And I don't know why it keeps beeping at me. Maybe you guys have noticed that. I don't know what the heck's going on. But here, I think this is Paradise Valley. Just not a lot of twisties to show you. But in terms of braking, I got max regen. It actually feels good. Once upon a time, electric cars had this artificial feel when you hit the brake. And this way, even if I'm in max or minimal regen, I feel like there is good modulation, so I don't feel like I'm going to do that stop-start kind of thing where you get a lot of head bob because you're not quite actually using the brakes, but you're using the regenerative power. Now, in terms of kind of horsepower, I believe that it depends on the model. They do come in different configurations. So there's a base that has, and I forgot these numbers, so let me quickly cheat here. Look at my textbook. There is a base with a 53 kilowatt hour battery, 149 horsepower, 0 to 60. I think it's like in the 9-second range. And then this guy has, let's look at it, 320 horsepower, 446 pound-foot of torque, and 0 to 60 in about 5 seconds. I'm not in love with this. I don't know why they went back to that. I wonder why this is changing colors. Maybe because I'm in reverse? What do you guys think, huh? Any Hyundai people can let me know in the comments. Probably reverse. It also does that when it's charging. It also does that when you ask for navigation or you want to talk to it. It does all that. Now this has not been the greatest. Let's try it. Navigate to McDonald's.
10 results found. Please say the line number.
Cancel. Hey, it worked. I love when it works. I was going to say snarfs, but I don't know if there are any snarfs here in Phoenix. If there are snarfs, let me know. And that's also cool where that changes to the camera. Honda does that, but Hyundai does it on both sides, not just on the driver side, but also on the passenger side. So it lets you know what's next to you. Now, we do have kind of level 2-ish autonomy here. So basically you've got lane keep, proximity distance control, cruise control, but the system, unlike say Super Cruise or full self-driving, is not eyes on the road, hands off the wheel. You got to keep your hands on the wheel, which is fine. We're living in this weird time where we're kind of in the middle of the valley there, where we're not quite full self-driving. That's what Tesla calls it, but we're certainly not at we're beyond the beginnings of autonomy, and people are really good at either driving or not driving. What we're not good at is, I think, watching the car drive itself and monitoring it. You get bored, and the next thing you want to do is check your email or check your texts, so it's a weird time. I hope we get over this soon so that we can actually get to a point where you can actually hit a button and the car will drive you home, but alas, that's harder than it looks. I guess people are really good at driving, computers not so much. All right, let's switch modes here, and let's actually see if that changes the number of miles. So I've got 191 miles of range left, and if I switch to Eco, look at that, 203, normal mode 198. So it does change. So yeah, you can do that. This car does have a heat pump for all of you heat pump fans. Makes it much more fuel efficient, or in this case, electricity efficient. And this number is kind of interesting. So can you see it there? 3.6 miles per kilowatt hour over the last, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours that I've been driving it, which is very good for a car this big. Extremely efficient, actually. I'm very impressed by that number because well, I've been driving a Hummer EV and that's getting like 1.1 miles per kilowatt hour. Now, the other thing that Hyundai says is that they will give you access to the new app, which can serve as your key on the phone. It also does some route planning. So, you know, the Tesla and with the supercharger network, what you can do is you can actually, you know, decide to go from here to Denver, for instance, which would be 1,000 miles, and the car will tell you exactly where to stop, how long to stop for to charge, and you know how many of those chargers are empty, and how many are full, and you can plan a route really easily and get there pretty quickly. With obviously CCS chargers, that becomes much more problematic, but Hyundai's working toward getting to that. One of the reasons, of course, they can't do that is because they don't have their own charging networks. Now, this is one of the fastest charging cars. It's an 800 volt architecture, which gives you, according to Hyundai, 10 to 80% in like 18 minutes. They've upped the home charging level 2, not DC charging, to get this. This is a big number. 50 amps. That's a lot for a car. The Lightning does 80 amps at home, but that's a truck. So 50 amps, and they're saying that you could probably charge it fully from empty at night over home. And I don't know if that's the smaller battery, the 50 kilowatt hour, or the 77, but about 7 hours. So yeah, it's all good news. The one thing that I would say about this car is, you know, it's going to be, I think, challenging for them to sell into a headwind. And there's 2 headwinds that they're facing, right? They're facing the fact that this is a sedan, and even though the Tesla Model 3 sells very well as a sedan, it's because Tesla has the ability to drop the price, which they recently did at the drop of a hat, and they also get the credit for the taxes because it's built in America, whereas this is not built in America. This is built in Korea. Look at that, they go red when you go into reverse. So you've got 2 headwinds that they're selling into. I like it. My biggest complaint, like I said, is it's a little sterile to drive, but you know, so are most electric cars. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like the design language? Is it polarizing? Does it look like a scarab? Or does it look like a Porsche? And do you like, look at this, do you like the new key fob? Much different. So look, it also does park, so it'll pull itself into a parking lot. And you got this, it's got an electric, look at engineering going on there, it's got an electric opener for the trunk, and of course the seats fold back, so if you did want to throw something bigger in there like a bicycle, you could do so. And the last question I'll answer is, does it have a frunk? Let's find out together. If you've owned a Hyundai, you probably know the answer if you ever had a Hyundai, because the answer is, well, let's look, sort of, kind of. Frunks have become kind of a thing of electric cars, but this one has a little sandwich holder here. Maybe some dirty workout clothes if you don't want to get too stinky in the cabin. Anyway, there you have it, the new Ioniq 6, available at your local dealer as we speak. Yeah, go to TFL or alltfl.com and check out my longer walk around if you want to know, and if you want to take a very deep dive. I also had a deep dive with the engineer about this car. So more you know, the better, especially if you're cross shopping this with one of the competitors. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Ciao.